the problem I have with all of this is that it's so hard for the American public to follow. Right? So you get multiple court cases with Trump. You have the new issue coming out of Colorado with Trump, which, by the way, hopefully the Supreme Court overturns the Colorado Supreme Court. That's just an awful decision. I think everybody realizes that. You have the issue on Jack Smith and whether, whether he was a justifiable counsel or not. The hard part is the American public's having trouble keeping track, so they're not really paying attention. So it's breaking news, I think, and it's very interesting to those of us who are kind of inside and watching all these different pieces move. But how it affects the election, almost nothing. No one's really taking it into account in their calculus. I don't think it's moving a vote. I don't think it's giving people more or less confidence. It's just going to be a kind of a confusing situation until they kind of start ticking themselves off and getting resolved.
Okay, Governor. Well, let's talk about what I think you really want to do. Your recent endorsement of former South Carolina governor and presidential candidate Nikki Haley here. And I think what's interesting is the recent poll that came out today. She is now within that 15 points. She's 14 points away polling from the former president. She's inching closer. And a lot of people say that once you get within 15, you become within striking distance. We know in your state, a lot of different things can happen. So why have you put your weight behind Nikki Haley? And what do you make of that momentum she's gotten from your endorsement? You can't deny that. It's happened.
Well, it's there. Our primary goal was always to make this a one-on-one race for the primary, for the voters, right? For Trump and somebody else, whoever that someone else was going to be. We talked about that last summer. It's clearly Nikki Haley. There's just no question about that now. Not only does she have second absolutely wrapped up in challenging Trump for first and winning this state, I think she has second. The momentum is carrying her into second place in Iowa. She goes to her home state after this. So we've achieved our goal in terms of being a one-on-one race. And now not only what is in sight, she's going to win the state of New Hampshire. I mean, this momentum is real. It's not, people don't see her as a candidate in a campaign. They see it as a movement. They see it as something exciting, right? Her background, what she brings to the table. And for us in New Hampshire, we like this live free or die thing you may have heard of, right? This kind of lowercase L libertarian thing where less government is better. She carries that with her, which is very exciting to a lot of folks. That's why she was getting momentum even before I got on board with her. We're trying to throw a little gasoline on that fire, but she believes in this concept of let's get the power out of Washington. Let's let the states and the voters and the people have more say because we can't trust anything out of Washington anyways. So that message is really resonating, whether you talk about securing the border, she's 100% there, understanding international issues, which is very, very important lately. She understands them better than anybody, any of the candidates in the campaign field because she designed these policies. She was at the UN. So the resume, the background are absolutely what people are looking for. And just that connectivity, right? There's that genuineness. She doesn't come in like, with all due respect to the former president, he comes in, he does a rally, he doesn't take questions, he doesn't give answers, he leaves. He doesn't even talk about the race. He just kind of whines about the legal issues. But as Nikki hits the ground, she lets people talk, she lets people engage in the process, and that's empowering to the voters. And clearly it's working.
Governor, there was a new Trump ad targeting Nikki Haley out, and that was earlier this week. And your response to it, you said that Donald Trump is nervous that his base is going to leave him for Haley. Tell us more about that.
Oh, look, I think it's great that Trump is running this nonsensical campaign attack ad. It shows that he's afraid. When you saw his rhetoric at this last rally he's trying to do everything he can to galvanize his base because it's not just that Haley's going to galvanize these other folks on the side. She's going to pull from the Trump voters. About a third of the Trump voters, which is the most common answer that third gives in terms of why they're supporting Trump, well, they'll say, well, he's going to win anyway, so I guess we'll just back him. So they're supporting him because they think it's inevitable. So when you break through that kind of veil of inevitability, when you show the emperor has no clothes, so to say, folks go, oh, wait a minute, we have a binary choice here. It's a one-on-one race. It isn't a dozen candidates and Trump, so we'll just get behind Trump. It's a one-on-one race. And that really changes the psychology. And now that Trump is trying to attack Nikki, he's saying, yes, this is a one-on-one race, and I'm very nervous about Nikki Haley catching me in New Hampshire. So all the signs are pointing to her momentum. Even the former president is acknowledging it by kind of doing these attempts at an attack ad. But her background, her resume, her conviction, it's there. She doesn't waver, right? She is who she is. She doesn't try to just tell you what you want to hear. She doesn't just try to convince you that she's right and you're wrong on a policy issue. She stands very firm on where she is, and she can back it up. And like I said, when you have that one-on-one interaction with voters, they really appreciate that engagement. They feel empowered because they get to interact with someone who I think is going to be the next president of the United States.